one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Bruce.
Here.
Kalinowski.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Scarra. Here. Williams.
Here.
Baczynski.
Okay, first item is consideration of approval of the meeting agenda. On the meeting agenda for tonight, under communications and announcements, we have a letter dated 4/22/15 from our attorney regarding amendments to the Freedom of Information Act and new requirements. You want to make sure to take a look at that. It's quite lengthy. Read it over carefully, but that's something that we're going to have to take action on. Under department and committee reports, A is the Water Department report, Wade Trim's monthly report. B is the Fire Department's report. C is Office of Zoning Administrator. D, Planning Commission. E is the Building and Grounds Committee. From the Building and Grounds, we have a recommendation to accept a one-year maintenance agreement with Cummins Bridgeway to serve all 3 township generators at a cost of $989.73. Item F is the Elections Committee report. G is the PEG Commission report. H, Downtown Development Authority report. I, Sewer Project report. Under new business, item A, we have consideration of a request from Linda DeVries to extend her rec center rental contract for another year for the contract period of June 1st of 2015 to May 31st of 2016 for the purpose of teaching jazzercise classes 3 nights a week with a rental rate of $160 per month. Item B is we've got a couple of bids for asphalt repair work to be done on 28th Street, 24th Street, and the Fire Department leach basin. Any additions to the meeting agenda or questions?
I got one
Yes.
with the lawnmower.
Okay, yeah.
We need building and grounds.
Yeah, we need, we'll cover that under building and grounds.
Yes.
Then Ed. Yeah, we can add that as item number 2. We've got a recommendation from Building and Grounds Committee for purchasing a lawn tractor. So if you want to add that under Building and Grounds Committee report, item number 2. Anything else? Then I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move.
I'll second it.
Motion by Cruz, second by Scarra to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is consideration of approval of the consent agenda, and tonight's consent agenda, item A, consists of the regular board meeting minutes from April 7th. Item B is the financial report. C is approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department, checks numbered 32301 through 32399, accounts payable totaling $15,654.27, payroll totaling $45,572.53, for a grand total of $61,226.80. Item D is approval of Water Department expenditure checks 2113 through 2123, totaling $13,538.33. And item E is approval for the Lions White Cane sale to take place on Friday, May 8th, 2015 at various locations in Filer Township. Any questions, additions, or deletions to the consent agenda? Hearing none, then I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move. I'll support.
Motion by Kolonowski, support by Paczynski to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. On communications and announcements, again, I just want to reiterate that that Freedom of Information Act, there are a lot of changes coming down the road, and that's all pretty much addressed, and also some sample policies to look at. So make sure that you go through that well. I think we need to be prepared at our next meeting to adopt some of those policies.
We adopt those policies by way of this resolution.
Okay, but I don't think are we necessarily doing that tonight?
We don't have to do it tonight. Yeah.
I don't know
We have to do it
about
at
any-
the June meeting, so it's in
Right,
place for
it
July
needs to be in
1.
place by July.
There are, the reason that you have it now is so you can look it over and see if you have any things that you want to add or question or delete. And we have to come up with our coordinator and name that now in
Right.
this resolution.
Right. I think there's, at least in my mind, I looked through it quickly, but I think we really need to take a little more time to thoroughly digest it. I don't know how you feel. Maybe you're ready to move on it tonight. Personally, I'd like to take a little more time to look at it. I don't know.
And you
Anybody
have
else?
that time. You got that
Right,
one extra
right.
month to do
I
that.
like to read them through a couple times.
Okay.
We have a summary here, and then there is the big one. The summary and the full one have to go on the website, and it's all said and done.
And I think if you don't read some of this big stuff, then you don't need it.
Right. Okay.
All right, let's plan on putting that on our business for next meeting then, for our June meeting, and so we can take action on the resolution at that time. Public comment.
Terry, I just want to make mention, I'm not sure, does the Township Board need to approve the DDA's motion to reopen the negotiations with the city after, I know the last month, I think we
Right.
made a mistake, we had to get your approval to.
Right, and the board took action on that at the last meeting, so we again need to take action just as the DDA board did tonight.
And just that was the only point,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure that had to take place.
Yeah. And I intend to bring that up under sewer report.
Perfect, okay, thank you.
I'm not sure, I know that ad hoc sewer committee and people that have sat in on the DDA board meeting tonight are aware of that. So there's 4 of us that are aware of what we're talking about, and we'll discuss it, I'll discuss it with the other 3 members so that we can take action on that tonight. Any other public comment?
Regarding what?
Anything?
Okay, I have comment.
You want to step up to the podium and tell us your name, Sean?
My name's Sean Blarsky, and, excuse me,
Take a deep breath.
I'm upset. I've lived for 18 and a half years on 21st Street,
Sean's got a water issue, right?
very much so, along with some neighbors that are present here today. We have reported them. I've had them come into my home. It's been verified that there is a water volume issue. I've patiently and very uncomfortably lived with very little water. And I just am here today to ask for some assistance in the recovery of my water supply. I've been told that there's no ordinance or policy as to what action needs to be taken first, whose responsibility is what. I understand what my responsibility is. I understand what your responsibility is. Your ordinance I read states, in the interest of protecting the public health and welfare, every structure used in part for dwelling shall be provided with a safe and sanitary water supply. And I have not.
Okay, can I interject here?
Sure.
Sean? I spoke with Mike Hiller on this, and I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before I spoke with you on the phone, Sean.
Correct.
I just became aware of this week. Sean has contacted Lynn and let her know of the problem. She has a very low flow, extremely low flow. And, so we got to get it at the heart of it, why. I talked with Mike Hiller about it. Mike was over to your place this morning?
Well, he uncovered this morning the shut-off, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
He was at my house last week checking the volume.
Okay. And we have a situation, and Mike's informed me that this is not the only location he found out. Was not aware prior to this that there are two residences hooked to the same service line, one service line. So, and that service line is a half-inch galvanized. And we're talking about 21st Street, what would it be, the
North side.
north side of the street, and there are two other houses that also share on one service line. So basically what I've talked about with Mike today, and I believe he's discussed this with you, that from the shut-off to the house is your responsibility, but from the main to the shut-off is our responsibility. And to rectify that situation, you need a larger service line, number one, and then it needs to be separated. The two residences need to be separated so they're on separate lines. So it's going to involve the township taking care of the line from the main to the shut-off, okay? And then the two residences taking care of their service lines. And in talking with Mike about it, probably the best way to go about that, Sean, is for you and your neighbor and then us to work together and try to do this all at the same time. We need to, there are different contractors that we can work with to get this done, but we need to have you guys decide upon a contractor that you'd like to work with, get bids. We do the same and try to coordinate it at one time. That'll probably be the most cost-effective way to take care of it. So we can get bids, and I don't know, I think Mike told me that he had suggested a couple of contractors to you, or gave you names of contractors.
No,
No?
he hasn't.
Okay. Well, I guess that would be the next thing, and I don't know if your neighbors here that
Yes.
shares the line? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But there's more than just our line. I believe there's other houses on
A few
that.
houses down from her, and our water pressure kind of goes up and down. We don't have extremely low pressure,
Yeah.
but it's never the same.
Might be similar kinds of issues.
And then the lady on the other side of me also.
Okay, and I don't know, gentlemen in the back, if you're sharing a service line as Sean and,
I couldn't tell you that either.
He's 2 doors down from me.
okay.
My husband spoke with the lady that's in between Sean and Don, and she's not having any problems at all.
Okay.
We've-
On Mike's note, he made to me 1114 and 1116 on 21st Street are also on the same line. I don't know.
I'm 1116.
Okay, so you have the same situation.
I don't have
As these
constant
two
low
ladies.
pressure. I have oscillating, I guess you'd call it.
Okay,
There's times where the pressure would almost blow the faucet off the sink, and there's other times where it's dribble.
okay.
And I have had that in the past. I mean, I've always known I don't do laundry and take a shower and run the sprinkler. I don't ever do that, haven't. I've lived there 18 and a half years. A few,
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, according to what Mike told me, is you and your neighbor both being on the same line, you can affect each other's
Right.
pressure and water flow.
right, always.
You got to coordinate your...
Right, the
what
whole
you're doing.
time I've lived
Yeah.
there. But it's never, ever, ever been this bad.
Well, and what happens, you know, those were galvanized, like I said, half-inch galvanized lines that were put in. This water system, I believe it was 1956 when it was put in. Those build up deposits on the inside, and ideally, we look at going with 1-inch lines, and we look at going with copper. Mike said he's taken 1-inch galvanized lines and taken a foot section cut out of them, and he said, hold it up and you can't even look, you can't even see through it. That's how much it'll build up, accumulates, especially over that number of years. So I guess we want to take care of the problem. You know, but we need to work together, because some of it's going to be your responsibility, your cost, and some of it's going to be ours. But to do it, I think most effectively, we need to work together on it. And I know from your perspective, time is an issue also. And so we just, we got bids on a couple other, one business and one residence to get some work done there. We need to do the same probably for you.
My concern is, I don't know, I mean, I understand it's old and that, you know, the size and all that, that this is an issue and it needs to probably be replaced, fixed, whatever. A few years ago, the same situation happened. It never got bad, but a line busted under the street and came in and fixed it, and it was good for several years. I guess my concern is that, do we know that this is what the problem is? Could there be a leak in the line somewhere under the street, under the ground, soaking into the ground, that nobody's aware of yet? Because we don't know what the problem is.
It just happened out of nowhere.
It wasn't a gradual go away.
Like all of a sudden, no water.
Oh, your issues just started?
Over a week ago, I was gone out of town for a little while, but
It's been a few weeks.
It's been
Prior to that, there weren't any issues?
No.
Nope.
Low volume, low pressure? Okay.
Nope, like my sink, my kitchen sink, it takes me probably 20 minutes to fill it up to do dishes. It's bad.
Well, I guess, you know, I'll need to get back with Mike and have them do some,
Yeah, because it was out of nowhere. It was
Yeah.
like one day, the water.
And that's kind of how it happened, sorry to interrupt, when
Yeah, the
the,
next day, it's like, we had no water,
Okay.
barely dripping.
when it buckled the road a few years ago. The same
Yeah.
kind of thing happened, but it buckled, so right away you knew that there was something going on right there.
Yeah.
Now I don't know where it's going on.
you had the same issues then, and then it turned out to be a break in the main, and that was
Right.
repaired. Your water volume, pressure issues were back to normal then
Right.
after the
Yeah.
repair?
What I've lived with for, you know,
Okay. All right.
yes.
I will talk with Mike again first thing tomorrow morning, and, you know, we'll try to move on from there.
Okay.
Jerry, I don't know if it would help or not, but, you know, if Mike was to dig up and he found the valve, you said, if he could
Yes.
shut that valve off, you know, he could probably sever that line on the house side of that thing and then open that valve back up and check the pressure that easy and identify whether then, my suspicion is if it's a half-inch galvanized line, you know, we all see that. I would expect that to be a problem.
Yeah.
Even without the deposits, but with those deposits,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's good. But Mike could probably reassure without getting a tear up the road by shutting that valve off, severing that line, and then open that valve back up to check the pressure. Then, you know, in the interest of reassuring you that it's
Please.
nothing you're gonna have to deal with later.
Yeah, right.
And does it need to be copper line? Can they run a PEX tube, you know? Would that be more economical?
You can run PEX, it all depends on the ordinance, I don't know if the ordinance.
Well,
requires
and
it to say-
PEX is the thick wall plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess part of the concern with that is with potential freeze-ups and not being able to thaw them other than with the steam
Right,
pressure.
we don't usually recommend going with plastic for that reason.
Right.
Because freeze-ups are a pain.
Right,
Get cleared up.
exactly. And I know that's what Mike has talked about with me, is that that's why they prefer going with copper. Any other public comment? Okay. On reports, Water Department report, you have in your packet the Wade Trim monthly report. And speaking of problems and issues, you can see a number of things that were dealt with over the last few months are summarized in there. And the one that jumped out at me was the power outage of March 29th, and everything worked fine. Our well number 4, the generator went on, and we didn't lose any service during that power outage. So that's why we put that generator in there. And nice to see that it's working. Item B is the fire department report.
As you can see, the computer doesn't like the way I spell my name, so it changed the spelling by itself at the top. I didn't catch it this time. I don't know why it does that. Total calls for service in April so far, we had 26. 16 were medical, 1 false alarm, 1 response by our FIS team, 1 call that came in as a down power line turned out to be a cable TV line, 2 car crashes, 3 carbon monoxide alarms, 1 illegal burn, and 1 to investigate weird noises coming from a furnace. We had our annual maintenance and pump testing completed. We have a couple of minor problems with gauges that we're getting repaired. We can do those ourselves. And we have 1 major issue with our exhaust system on our engine. Managed to order the parts from the manufacturer, and Manistee Ford, in their new facility has the capability of lifting that truck up in the air, so they're going to do the installation. We continue to do all of our training as required. Our new personnel are being trained in all areas of the fire department. Again this week, I don't know if you saw us out with the Ranger, we have permission to train on PCA's property, so we go back in the hills back there by their treatment facility, and it gives people good experience up and down hills and that going through the woods. That's all I have. Anybody have anything for me? Okay, thank you very much.
Item C is Lynn's report, and you can see that there's been a little bit of activity in the past month, but I don't see any new major building going on, other than an accessory building. Item D is the Planning Commission. You have the minutes in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to those minutes?
Nothing further.
Okay. Item E is the Building and Grounds Committee. Ed, do you want to talk about the 2 recommendations coming from the Building and Grounds?
Yeah. We went to several dealers. Here's that thing from Elmer's.
Pardon me?
Here's that thing from
Okay.
Elmer's.
Yeah.
I wish they'd look at this real fast. And here I got it tagged with a yellow tag. No. Yeah. Where all we been?
Well, first talk about the contract with Cummins Bridgeway
Oh,
on
yeah.
generator service.
I wish we'd pass that. Take only 1 year.
Well, that's the recommendation from the Building and Grounds Committee. We had two bids, one for a 1-year contract, the other was for a 5-year contract. And it was recommended from the Building and Grounds Committee that we go with the 1-year contract. And it's in your packet in the amount of $989.73 to service all 3 generators, the one at Well House 4, the one at the fire department, and the one here at the hall. And their contract, if you look at that, it tells what's included in that. But we definitely need to maintain maintenance on our generators, and
I would like, I think when the guy comes here, because it's not gonna take him long to do that, that our water department man will probably be with him too, and
maybe Ron.
yeah, and spend the time, and then have them all while we're running in the building. You know what I mean? While we're operational in the building, have him switch over, and there should be no interruption of nothing,
Right.
because they work that slick.
Well, do you want to coordinate that if
Yeah, I
the
can.
board approves this contract?
Right.
Coordinate a time for them to come and do their inspection and maintenance and get at a time that Mike and Ron can both be here?
Right.
Okay.
Well, Ron, you haven't had any problem with yours over there, have you?
No, we haven't had any issues.
But Smokey used to take care of that.
Smokey was one that always did the maintenance on it.
So,
So now he's probably not gonna do the maintenance anymore, but he still is doing the test.
well, I'll talk to Smokey.
And this would all be done by, this would all be done by one of their service people then?
Right, and that's fine, that would work fine.
This is what, changing oil and putting new oil filters and that, and
Yeah,
all of the,
I've talked to guys that do that maintenance,
how
and
many times a year?
they change oil once a year.
Do they do repairs if they find an issue?
Yeah,
Yep. And they offer 24/7 emergency call service.
There's no automatic renewal, or is there? You have to identify that or not, because it's a 1-year contract.
I don't believe this had an automatic renewal. I know,
I just wanted to mention here.
yeah,
It's a provision that you can have.
okay, I know I read something about an automatic renewal.
What's that
I didn't know if it was in this one.
Automatic renewal.
oh, in that contract? I don't know, I read that, I don't remember seeing that.
It says here, prepaid agreements are designed with an automatic renewal provision, right on the last page.
Yeah, and I think also, wasn't there a 30-day
Yeah, it
notice
says
of
good for
either
30
party?
days.
Right,
They would have-
Expires 5/25.
yeah.
Okay.
So can we go ahead and notify them people?
And approve it with the automatic renewal?
Or,
You want the automatic renewal?
I don't know, so, if I don't like,
Okay, let's go a year then without it.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not a stamp that.
Well, we need a motion to approve this contract.
I'll make
And if
that.
we're talking about just a 1-year contract with no automatic renewal, then we can decide at the end of that year whether it's worth that money to contract with them another year.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Williams, second by Cruz to approve the contract, a 1-year contract with Bridgeway, Cummins Bridgeway, at the price of $989.73 for service and maintenance on all 3 of our township generators. Any further discussion? Okay, sure you want to call the roll on that?
Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Scarra,
Yes.
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Pachinsky,
Yes.
Okay, item 2 there on the lawn tractor, Ed I got some prices locally here for new lawn tractors, and Ed got some prices also, and Ed picked up some prices on Exmark and John Deere.
Husqvarna,
Yeah, I got prices on Husqvarna and Craftsman
Gravely.
locally. Pardon me?
Gravely,
I didn't have anything on Gravely, but I'm saying prior to our building and grounds meeting, we had prices from 2 township establishments on Husqvarna's and Craftsman, and looking at what would probably suit the needs for the township, the building and grounds made a recommendation that we come to the board and ask that they consider an expenditure up to $5,000 for a lawn tractor. Well, then we looked at Exmark's, Gravely's, and John Deere's, which are probably more commercial grade, industrial grade machines that, you know, obviously are going to last longer, hold up longer, but they come at a higher price tag. And I think what we're looking at is probably something in the neighborhood of a 48-inch deck max. And those prices went up to about $7,500. So, and those came in after we had our building and grounds meeting. So I guess, you know, we talked a little bit about it, and we probably want to bump that upper limit to 7,500. Is that right, Ed? So that we can take a look at Exmark's, Gravely's, and John Deere's.
right. Because we contacted 3 John Deere dealers in Traverse, Classic Motorsports and Lawn, and then I went and got from Mark, that's from Freeman Creek Equipment at Freestyle. And then I went to Lark Lawn and Garden Tractor, and that's Husqvarna and Gravely. And I went, did I tell you John Deere too? And then I guess where I got most of my information, people that are in that business, lawn cutting.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to by accident, I run into the Giant Cemetery,
Right.
and he gave me a recommendation. And I went to Perfect Cut a Lawn Service, and they give me a recommendation. And then I went to some lawn company in East Lake, but he does a lot of work. And I come up right outright. I said, if you're going to buy a new machine, which one would you buy? And that's the way I got my answers.
Yeah. Well, and I think going with, you know, talking to lawn service companies is a good way to go, because they
I don't know
put
what
them through the test pretty good.
Oh, Dean's got it.
So, yeah.
I got the yellow pages, the yellow tabs in there. This is what I liked about this one. I went to see him today too. And that's a Mark
That's Exmark.
Exmark.
Yeah.
And the guy wasn't cutting with one, but he said that's the kind I would buy.
Well, I think, you got anything else you want to talk about on that, Ed?
No, the prices are, oh, we checked that for the, what made it a little hard, our trailer isn't big enough for the size of tractor we want to buy.
Well, Lynn talked to one of the salesmen today, and
I talked to him too.
okay. Yeah, they were talking about the dimensions they were given was with the chute down.
Yeah,
With the chute up, it'll fit on the trailer.
right.
But that, I guess that's why we want to get a just a dollar figure upper limit approved from the board so that we can do a little bit more exploration on these and make sure we get what's going to fit the township, not be more machine than what we need, but what'll do the job and will hold up in the long run and fit the trailer.
You want to make sure the deck is not just
I looked at the
a cheap
decks.
stamp.
Right.
You really
Decks
don't.
that aren't
Because
stamped.
ours rotted after all those
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, we had it welded last year, and a lot of that's due to, the conditions like at Lagoon and at Oak Hill Park where there's a lot of sand and that just eats away in a hurry. And so we talked about keeping the old machine specifically just for cutting at Lagoon and at Oak Hill Park, and then do the other cutting with the new machine.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? We're
So
directing the building and grounds to further explore with a
No, I would
limit of a certain
I would
amount?
like to make a motion that the board approve an expenditure up to $7,500 for the purchase of a new lawn tractor for the township.
How much?
7,500, up to 7,500. Because that
Well, we're
opens,
getting a rebate from some of these companies.
right,
John Deere will give me 1,500
right,
and,
But that'll give you an upper level, so that.
right. And the top machines on there, like the X-Mark, John Deere, they came in at between 7,000 and 7,500 on several of their models. So that's why I would like to raise that upper limit of what the Building and Grounds Committee had initially proposed.
I'll second your motion.
Who made the motion? You?
I made the motion, yes.
Okay, and Ed?
Dale, second.
Dale, okay. So we don't know exactly how much this is going to be.
No,
So
but
then
there's
it's
an
your
upper limit of
intention- right.
7,500.
So it's your
So-
intention then to bring it back for final approval when you get the exact one, so we have it in the minutes?
No, because next board meeting will be a
In the
month
middle.
away and we'll be cutting grass by then. I'd like to do it with that upper limit so that we can do a little bit further exploration. And any board members that want to, get involved in that too, that'd be more than welcome. We just want to get something that will last and hold up. I know looking at Craftsman's, for example, some of them had Briggs and Stratton engines, which is a good engine, but it's not going to hold up. Their top of the line has Kohler, just as John Deere does, and a Kohler engine's going to,
and the mark
Kohler are a lot
is,
better.
and the mark is,
Kohler's a lot
oh,
better.
yeah.
is Kohler.
X-Mark is Kohler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are much more durable, long-lasting engines. Therefore, you got a little higher price tag. And
And we're calling this 48-inch deck lawnmower? Is that how?
Pardon?
How is it identified? 48-inch deck lawnmower?
Yeah, but we haven't decided what we want, which one, right?
right, that's what we're considering, but we want to do a little more exploration and
These run
make a good
between-
decision. So
6,000 and 7,000, and John Deere with a rebate is 8,000. Over. So, I really like what's it called, the one I think I see.
X-Mark or Gravely?
Is that Mark?
X-Mark.
Old John Deere.
Gravely is a good machine too. The city uses all of them. And, the people that use them every day, they're the ones that tell you what.
Yeah.
Is ours
So-
completely broken?
It's not completely broken. John just picked it up from the repair shop today. We had it in the repair shop, I know twice for sure last year, might have been 3 times. We had to have the deck welded and then work done on the engine. Again,
Yeah, because I had helped go over and get it started.
yeah. So, it's, I don't know how old it is, but it's
I'll tell you how
probably
old it is.
served its
It's when
purpose.
Joe Adamski and Drew Ambergy were on the board.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty old.
we've gotten our mileage out of it, and that's a John Deere. So we've got a motion on the table. Any
we
other
can't wait.
questions or? Yeah,
We can't
right,
wait.
right.
The motion we're gonna raise
Is to purchase a lawn tractor for the township with a ceiling price of $7,500. that should give us the leeway to get something a little bit better than what we were initially looking at. And if I'm not mistaken, Ed, all of those prices,
I had them one time here.
yeah, were 7,500 and down to about 5,800 to 6,000 for the John Deere's X-Marks in the size that we want.
All right. Then we can go over these slips together.
Okay. Want to call the roll, Shirley?
Kaczynski,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yeah.
Williams,
Yes?
Ball, yes, Scarra,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Kalinowski.
Yes.
Item F is the Elections Committee report. You've got the minutes in your packet. Is there anything else you want to talk about, the adventures you had on election
Oh, we
night,
had
Shirley?
adventures. Let's see, 624 voters. It's about 30%. According to the newspaper, the highest percentage of any of the municipalities was 38. I think that was Arcadia. And there will be an August election, so that our meeting in August, our regular board meeting, will be held off till Thursday night in the month of August.
And that election is for the college?
And that's all that's on it at this point.
Okay. So that August meeting, we've got to change the
Maybe the
posting on
6th.
it. That'll
Is it
be
the
the 6th,
6th?
yes. Yes, August 6th rather than the 4th. Okay, PEG Commission. Dale or Dean, anything you want to?
Well, we're gonna try to get an allocation from the road commission again to take their meetings for the road commission. We're gonna go to the county commission this time, see if they'll do it. Township part. Also, we're doing a lot of different work on the kids at the high school are putting up a deal that they've made for video. We're gonna have that on our local channel too. As soon as they get it together, it should be something. They're gonna compile it, put it together, and we'll get it on. The budget has been good. We have had problems with our burners on our DVDs. The players work all right with the burners, so we were messing around with that. We should probably look at maybe next year.
Yeah, the burners are 8 years old, so they've actually done us quite well.
We're also going to have
Tamara this winter.
she's gonna, are you gonna be there? We're gonna do the same thing you're doing with the planning commission. So that- She's going to help us make it more viable. So,
Good luck with that.
and Renee, just what,
Okay.
I ran into you too, and it's-
Okay, item H, the Downtown Development Authority, and you have the minutes from the April meeting and the Ad hoc Sewer Committee meetings in your packet. I guess if Tamara or Tim would like to say anything about DDA right now, would be welcome to have the floor. And
You want to go ahead, Karen? I guess in regards to the first sewer ad hoc committee, we had a meeting, I apologize, I don't have all the dates in front of me, I wasn't expecting that, but as everybody knows, we made a motion, was that just a month ago,
yes,
to sever negotiations with the city.
right.
Since then, we received another proposal from the city that we couldn't turn our back on it, I guess. It proved, at least on the surface, to be financially a better deal for the township than what we had ongoing with the Little River Bed amount of Whitney. So with that in mind, we all felt that, it was our responsibility to at least unearth it again, to turn our backs on it within reckless, I think. So Brian ran all the numbers and proved to us, at least on the surface, once again, that the deal from the city looked like it was a better deal than the lumber ban bottom. So we're continuing to run those two negotiations parallel with one another. We are by no means stopping the progress with the tribe, and that is not our intention. But we need to investigate this other possibilities with the city. So we can learn that as recent as, or as, well, it will be as recent as 2 weeks from now, we'll have another meeting with the city. And at that point, my hope is we're going to have a really good feel for whether or not that's something that's even viable. I think we're going to make some demands based on our previous experience with the city and what we potentially think their goals are. And we should be able to decide at that point. We'll give them enough notice so they can review it prior to our meeting. And we'll all get together in 2 weeks and have a hard-nosed discussion about whether or not they're willing to come to terms with what our requirements are. And if not, there's one set of those parallel tracks that's about to go away, and we can continue on with the track. So anyways, the motion was made tonight by the DDA board to reopen negotiations with the city once again and hash that over. Where does it end and where does it start? I don't know. I mean, we intentionally closed that door so that we had reassurance that not only for the tribe's sake but for ours that was the avenue we were going down. But once again, we received another proposal from the city, and we just couldn't, it would have been reckless to turn our back on it. Now we have to unearth all the details and go through this once again. So that's where we're at. So as far as the township board is concerned, that's what we need is your blessing to move forward with those negotiations with the city once again. So it's not our intention by any means to drag this on, and none of us want to go down that avenue where it's going to take 6 months to get through this thing. So the DDA's motion tonight was for 60 days, I think.
Yep.
So we've opened that door, and it's scheduled to close again in 60 days. So, and Ben Byfoss is there tonight to reassure us that he was willing to work as hard as it took to get that pushed through as quickly as possible, and he was willing to do 5 days a week if that's what it took.
And we, as Tim said, we met yesterday with the city, and their engineer, along with Bradford and McCula, and pretty much the discussion was general in nature, but we hit a lot of topics and concerns, and now we're going to come back a week from this coming Tuesday. We'll meet again, and then we'll really get into the hard-nosed specifics. And like Tim said, we should have a pretty good feel after that meeting, whether or not we're going to be able to come to a conclusion with them that's going to be beneficial for the township and the city. But like Tim said, the reason we felt we had to go back and look at that proposal after we had decided not to talk with the city is we just needed to do our due diligence to look out for the best interest of constituents. And so Brian ran the numbers, ran the figures, and it came out, at least on the surface, it looks like a little better deal, but there are details that need to be worked out, and that's what will make it or break it, is the details. So
I'd say we go ahead and make a motion.
Okay.
With the 60-day time limit on it, that go ahead and open up and talk to the city.
Okay.
I'll support that.
Okay, motion by Cruz, support by Hachinsky to reopen negotiations with the city, but with a 60-day time limit on it. Any other discussion, questions?
Yeah.
We've got Brian here, so Ed?
I thought one of the reasons, primary reasons, is we were going to get more money from this other organization.
Well, going with the tribe would have opened the door for the potential for a 45% grant.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's still that's still in the works. We're not discounting that. If we went with the city, that grant would go away. We wouldn't have the grant. That's only if we went with the tribe.
Are there any grants for the city hookup?
I don't believe so. Brian can speak on that. There was one potential, but it's probably not in our best interest to go that route.
Good evening, Brian Souza from Wade Trim. If we go with the city, if it ends up that the township goes with the city option, there are not grants in place right now to do that work. The other opportunity that was discussed was having the city apply for funding through rural development to extend their system into the township, which at that point they would then own and operate the system in your township. That is not the recommendation of your engineer or your attorney. We both made that clear at the meeting yesterday. For various reasons, we don't need to get into those right now, but and the reason that was brought up is because there's a potential for some grant money if the city applied for those funds. However, if you know the workings of how that grant money is doled out and why, the potential for that grant money to be given to the city for this project is pretty slim. So it was almost, it's almost like a carrot that was dangled out there, but once you look at the details and you know how that stuff gets assigned, it's really not all that feasible to count on grant money for that. So but what you need to understand is your collection system in your business district was loan originally that you were working on a year or 2 years ago, and then the tribal option was then that portion was going to be grant funded to take your sewage to the tribe. So if you don't do the tribal option, you still have the loan in place for the collection, and that was always going to be loan whether you went to the city, whether you went to the tribe. It's just the additional infrastructure to get to the tribe was that grant money. Does everybody understand that? So we're really not losing an opportunity for grant funding. It's really not changing how much the project will cost, because you're still kind of saddled with the same loan amount whether you go with the tribe or whether you go with the city. Does that make sense? Did I explain that? So really what we want from the board tonight, and you guys have given that, is authority to continue with the city, to negotiate with them and hash out the details that we need to know in order to finally determine, is this really a good option, or are the details kind of sweeping this under the carpet where we need to go in our original direction. We are running parallel tracks so that we don't lose time on this. Any other questions on that?
Brian, the lift station that we're going to have in our system that would be in our DDA district, is that the same as what you described with 2 pumps alternating like the pump that would be going?
That would be it. Yeah, that would be what's called a duplex station. So there'd be 2 pumps. One would pump until it ended its cycle, and then when the next cycle begins, the other pump would pump. So you'd be alternating, keeping those pumps exercised. And if you ever had a problem with one, you can take it out of service while the other one services the whole thing and repair it and put it back in. So, yeah.
I've done that for the city.
It's not fun, is it?
No. You gotta go down that hole.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it today. But I was familiar with that.
We'll make the hole shallow so that, when you get one in the township, we can get you down in there.
Okay.
But I was familiar with that system because we had the equipment in our plant that was operated the same way. So there was no one. In fact, I even gave them their first oil system and stuff for the stepper switches. I ain't been down there in a while.
Any other questions of Brian? Okay, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome, thank you.
We have a motion on the floor then by D, by Cruz, second by Paczynski, to resume negotiations with the city with a time limit of 60 days. You want to call the roll, Shirley?
Paul? Yes. Walker?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Paczynski?
Yes.
Kalinowski?
Yes.
Okay, under new business. Item A is consideration of a request from Linda DeVries to extend her rec center rental contract for another year for the contract period June 1st, 2015 to May 31st, 2016 for the purpose of teaching jazzercise classes 3 nights a week with a rental rate of $160 per month. And I believe, Shirley, isn't that the same contract that she had with us last year?
Yes, it goes for a year and just gets renewed, has to be redone and re-signed.
But the charge is the same.
Yes.
And I did, by the way, we did have the rec center floors redone by Manistee Cleaning, stripped and waxed, and Linda sent me an email saying that, expressing her appreciation, they looked really good, and she thanked the Township Board for doing that. So at this point, I would entertain a motion then for approving the contract with Linda DeVries for a 1-year period at $160 per month.
Motion 160.
Yeah, $160 per month. Okay, we have a motion by Skira, second by Kolonowski to approve a 1-year contract with Linda DeVries for rec center rental for 3 nights a week at a cost of $160 per month. Any other discussion?
Boy, we don't get rich on that, do we?
No, but those are weeknights, Ed, when
You had 3
it's not
nights.
rented anyway.
You said 3 meetings, right?
3 nights a week. I believe it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday is when she has her classes. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Item B, we have 2 bids for doing the asphalt repair work on 28th Street from this past winter's freeze up of the water line, and then on 24th Street there are 2 locations there that need repair, and those stem from freeze-ups. Well, one was a freeze-up 2 years ago, and the other one, I don't recall what the issue was, but it was a leak that needed to be repaired. It was during warmer weather. It was not a freeze-up. And then also including that bid is for the leach basin repair work to be done at the fire department. We just had that cold patched late last fall, and so they'll remove that and asphalt that. And Ron left. I wanted to ask him, that also calls for putting in, they wanted to raise that 1.5 inches. And that bid from, I believe both of them, I know Brown's bid included a 1.5 inch riser, steel riser, to go in there underneath the plate to bring it up 1.5 inches, and that's what the fire department requested. So that's included in the bids. But if you look at those 2 bids, total price for Brown and Sons was $3,377, and the corresponding bid from Elmer's, $4,680. So there's a difference of over $1,000, about $1,300 difference between those 2 bids.
Them are little jobs.
Yeah, they're small jobs, but you're looking at $1,300 difference between the 2, which, that's about a, what is that?
20%.
Better than 20% difference on a small job like that, so. And I know we've had work done by Brown and Sons in the past, and I would imagine we have by Elmer's too.
Yeah, Grove.
So I think that both quality work and everything is reputable.
I'll make a motion that we accept a little bit with Ron Robinson.
Motion by Cruz to accept the bid from Ron Brown and Sons, I'm sorry, Kaczynski, to accept the bid from Ron Brown and Sons in the amount of $3,377, seconded by Williams. Any further discussion? My soon-to-be white hair.
It's just the glasses in the way here.
Okay, Shirley, you want to call the roll, please?
Kalinowski,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Kaczynski,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Scarra,
Yes.
Okay, one other thing before we move on. I was hoping to get a third bid tonight, but we've got two other projects we need to take care of. One is down at Link Lumber. We've got bids from Forbes and from Swiderski, and we're waiting on a bid from Carl's Excavating to do that job, which has froze up the last 2 winters. And then the other one is up on Grove Street, Witkowski's. They have a service line that comes off from Linwood Street and to the shutoff, which is approximately 240, 250 feet. And why that was ever done that way, I don't know, but we're going to need to take care of that. That froze up this past winter as well. That portion is going to be our responsibility. Mr. Witkowski's already indicated to Mike Hillard that he'll take care of them from the shutoff into the house.
Well, you know where the shut-off is for that?
Yes.
Way out there on the street,
On,
Linwood.
no, that's where it comes off from Linwood.
Yeah.
On the main
The
end.
shut-off is way over on Linwood.
I don't,
Yeah, when they put that in, I watched it, and you know what? They dug, Brian and what is his first name? Rich, I think.
you talking about Slavinsky's?
No. Brian was building his house, and what's it called, made it a circle. And I said, well, how come you're putting the shut-off way over here? You know, on the street. Because normally, then it's only a small pipe to get the pipe is.
Yeah, right.
I think it's ½ inch.
It's either half or 3/4 inch.
Yeah, I don't think it's 3/4.
Yeah. So anyway, we need to
We
take care
gotta
of
pay
that.
for that?
Yeah, yeah. That portion of it.
From the shut-off.
Well, from what Mike told me, the shut-off,
Maybe they changed the shut-off.
the shut-off is in front of
Slavinsky?
Witkowski's house.
Oh,
But the service line comes all the way from Linwood.
Linwood.
So,
Funny Brian never missed it up once.
at any rate, that's something that, and I don't think you got copies in your board packet of these two bids that have come in. I'll put copies in your mailboxes, and then when I get a bid from Carl's Excavating, I'll put a copy of that
Three
bid in yours too. Yeah, so there'd be 3 bids on that. Forbes, Swiderski, and Carl's Excavating. And we have 2 right now, yeah.
Good.
So we can, you know, both of those are something that we just want to take care of before fall.
How long should we go down deep enough?
Pardon me?
How deep do we want to go?
Well, we want to go deep enough that we're not going to have freeze-up issues.
All right.
So,
We're not going to use the line that goes behind the property, that goes down in front of it.
well, and yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's the main line.
The one going to PCA, yeah, we talked about that, and I better write myself a note to talk to Mike about that, and see if that's a possibility.
Because that would be cheap.
It might be if we can do that.
What's that?
Come off, run a lateral off from the line that goes down the hill, from
Yeah.
Linwood down the hill, south of Donnie Miller's
Yeah.
to PCA. Yeah, that might be.
Well, where does that
a little more
line go now?
cost-effective. It goes down to
There's a
PCA.
line going down that hill.
Right, it goes to PCA, I believe.
Yeah.
That's where it goes,
that-
yeah.
That
That's
gives us a
relatively
complete
new.
loop now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check with Mike on that too, and maybe, you know, like I say, that's not something that we need to act on now or June or July even, but we want to get it done before fall. Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
take them a day.
Yeah, right. Okay, public comment.
Two things that took place tonight at this meeting. I thought the rural development grant had to be applied for in a certain time frame, and I thought the frame was coming up this summer.
The grant,
The rural development grant had to be applied for.
it's already been applied for, Betty. The deadline was March
Yeah.
1st,
And
31st?
you did it wasn't required to have a set that you were going with. It was all right. You're going to get the money.
Right.
Okay. The other thing is, the young lady that was here with the problem with the water, the attitude I got, and she probably did too, from the board, was very dismissive. Your attitude was you don't care. But if you were in her shoes, and it took you 20 minutes to draw a dish pan full of water to do your dishes, you would be out there with a shovel trying to find out what's wrong. I think two of the gentlemen on the board should go and visit that woman tonight and assure her that tomorrow something is going to be done.
Well, and that, I agree with you, Betty. I agree with you. I've talked with her and I know she has a real issue, trying to take a shower or anything, do laundry, right. And I tried to reassure her that first thing in the morning, I'm going to talk with Mike and try to get him over there to head it
The
up.
attitude of the board was very dismissive. It's like, it's too bad.
Well,
That's what I accept from what I saw.
Okay.
And that is, I'm sure, how she feels. I do think that somebody on the board, the gentleman that knows something about water, the ladies have too much business, really anyways, but the gentleman should go and talk to that woman tonight and reassure her that you don't think that it's just nothing so bad. If you were without water, any one of us would feel really bad.
Well, I hope we didn't come across that way, Betty, and if we did, yeah, I would agree that we need to take some corrective action.
You did.
Okay.
And I'm sure she was so upset that she cried the rest of the meeting before she left. It's because she doesn't feel that the board cares. And I think the board better go tonight and let her know that they do care.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay, anything else to come before the board tonight? Dean? No. Dale? No. Shirley?
No.
Ruth?
What about the assessor? Are we going to vote on that tonight?
Oh, I'm glad you said something. Tell all about that.
That wasn't on the agenda.
Not on the agenda. That's not on the agenda, and we need to, because our contract with Barbie ends up
The end of this month?
the end of this month, right? And we do have, yeah, I guess that would be other business to come before the board. We do have a recommendation from the Personnel Committee. We did interview Great Lakes Assessing and followed up with a number of phone calls for references. The Personnel Committee recommended that we hire Great Lakes Assessing for the coming year for a one-year contract.
Isn't it going to be a 10?
Now, what we talked about was the fact that we want to keep it on the fiscal year. And so I did contact Great Lakes Assessing, and they said they don't have a problem with going with a 10-month contract, prorated. So it would be basically June 1st through March 31st contract. And I guess we would have to, their bid was for $29,000 a year for one contract year. So if we take that, and divide that, oops, let's get the right, get the calculator up here. And somebody else can double check my figures if you would please, but 29,000 per year divided by 12 months comes out to $2,416.67 per month.
241667?
Yes. 2416.
Okay.
67 per month, and multiply that by 10 months, and that puts the contract for the duration of the year at $24,166.67. And just for information purposes, this assessing firm has 4 employees. 3 of them are at level 3, and 1 is at level 2. And if I remember right, they're dealing with 12 municipalities right now, which works out to 4 per person, so they're not overloaded by any means. The calls that I made got very good reviews from everyone I talked with, and I believe...
I got a couple more that came in after I talked to you, and they were both positive as well.
And I called another one today too, just to get another one, and that was very positive as well. So we contacted about 6 different municipalities that they work with, either currently or have in the past.
I'll make the motion we hire them.
Well, wait a minute. So Barbie goes through the end of May.
May. They would start June 1.
She would start June 1. Did she give you a contract, or does it need to be drawn up so we vote on a contract, or what are we doing here?
No, we don't have a contract per se. And that's something because of the, I guess, we would need to probably have Richard draw up a contract.
Okay, so you're going to make that motion
solid legal document, yeah.
I'll make the
with
motion.
that contract to be drawn up by...
Richard.
Okay.
Yeah, we had trouble getting together as a personnel committee between all the stuff I had, personal stuff going on, and Jennifer vacation time and Ruth's vacation time, and so it didn't come together like we had hoped it would.
Or should we ask them to present us one and then have Richard review it?
Well, yeah, either way, it's got to get their approval as well, so it might be better to have them give us a contract, and then we can have...
Subject to our attorney approval.
Right.
Okay.
Subject to our attorney's approval.
Right.
We have to have this.
So we have a motion. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second by Kolonowski to hire Great Lakes Assessing as our assessor for the next 10-month period until March 31st, June 1st through March 31st, at a cost of
$2,416.67 per month.
Okay, based upon a contract that they'll present to us, and we get approval
Subject to attorney approval.
from our attorney. Any discussion?
Good catch, Ruth. We would have forgot that.
Yeah.
No, it was right in front of me. I knew we had to do this.
And I had it in front of me too, but overlooked it. No discussion? Okay, Shirley, you want to call the roll?
Ball, yes. Walker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Cruz,
Yep.
Scarra,
Yes.
Kolonowski,
Yes.
Paczynski,
Yes.
Okay. I will personally make a point to contact Sean Belerski yet tonight and let her know that we definitely are concerned about her water situation, and I don't know if anybody else wants to make a call as well, but I know when I talked with her, she's in pretty dire straits now for the past several days or week, trying to get ready for work with a trickle of water for a shower and unable to do laundry and that sort of thing. And she said the only saving grace right now is the fact that she doesn't have any kids living at home anymore, so, you know, if she had a family, it would be virtually impossible. So, Betty, I appreciate you at least sharing your opinion, and I will make a point to call her before I leave here. Okay? If there's nothing further, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment then.
I'll second.
Motion by Bruce? Yep. Second by Skira to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.